Okay, so today we're going to really dive deep into intonation in English.
Yeah.
We always talk about pronunciation and getting the sounds right, but I think this is sort of like the next level for people who really want to sound natural.
It really is the secret sauce, I think, of actually sounding fluent and being understood.
Absolutely.
Um,
And we've got some really interesting sources here.
yeah, we do.
Everything from like basic introductory stuff, like what even is intonation,
Right.
and then all the way to like how it plays into, pronunciation as a whole, and even like the tech that's used to assess it.
Yeah, and some learning materials too. Like, how can we actually improve intonation?
So I think our mission today is to figure out, why is this rise and fall of our voices so important for English learners?
Yeah, it's so crucial. And the funny thing is, a lot of people don't even realize it's a thing. Like, they're so focused on, the individual sounds.
Yeah.
But it's how we put all those sounds together that really makes the difference.
Yeah, and I think the core question we're trying to answer for everybody today is,
Yeah.
why does it matter so much?
Right.
And what can you actually do
Yes.
to get better at it?
Exactly. How can we use this information to actually improve our understanding and speaking?
So one of the things that I thought was really interesting was in one of the resources.
Okay.
It actually refers to intonation as the melody of speech.
Ooh, like that.
And I thought that was such a
Yeah.
good way to think about it.
It is.
Because it really is like, it's not just about the words themselves. It's about the music that we put behind them.
Yeah, it's like the tune of our voice, right?
Exactly.
And it's funny because, we have musicality in our voices naturally anyway.
Yeah.
But in English, this intonation is so, so important.
Yeah. And the KU Open Text talked about this a little bit too. And it was saying like,
Yeah.
it really contributes to the overall musicality of English.
Yeah. It's those ups and downs.
Yeah.
And the pauses, like you don't just speak in a monotone. You've got all this variety and it all contributes to meaning.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
So the POC English resource talked about a couple of things that I thought were really interesting.
Okay.
Which is that intonation can actually be used to signal grammar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like if you think about it,
Yeah.
your voice often goes up at the end of a question
Exactly.
and down at the end of a statement.
Right. And the KU Open Text actually gives some really clear examples of that.
Yeah.
Like how simply changing the pitch at the end of a sentence can completely change it from a statement to a question.
Right. It's like the actual words are the same.
Exactly. The words are the same, but the meaning is totally different.
And this is what I thought was so cool about intonation.
Yeah.
It's like you could learn all the vocabulary you want. You can get all the grammar rules down, Pat.
Right?
But if you don't have this part right,
Yeah.
you're still not going to sound natural.
You're not going to be understood.
And you might even be misunderstood.
Exactly. It's almost like you're speaking a different language.
It is.
It's like having all the right ingredients for a cake, but not knowing how to bake it.
Totally.
You need that recipe. You need to know how to put it all together.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting that like Speech Ace, one of the resources we looked at,
Yeah.
it's a website that has technology to assess pronunciation and fluency.
Oh, yeah.
And so like it just goes to show you that, accurate pronunciation,
Is key.
which includes intonation,
Hopefully.
is considered super important.
If you're going to be assessed on it, it must be important.
Exactly.
And, we've got these resources like Lingua House that offer, help with learning pronunciation.
Yeah.
But I think what we're doing today is like giving you that foundation
Totally.
so that you can actually understand
Yeah.
why these things are important.
Yeah, like it's one thing to like hear a word and try to repeat it.
Yeah.
But if you don't understand the underlying concepts, it's going to be so much harder to actually use it naturally.
Right. It's like learning the rules of a game without understanding the objective.
Totally.
You might be able to play, but you're not going to be very good at it.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
the big takeaway here
Yeah.
is that intonation
Yes.
is like a fundamental part of English.
It really is.
And it goes so far beyond just knowing the words.
Absolutely.
It's like it's the music of our speech.
It is.
And it adds all this extra meaning
Yeah.
and emotion and grammatical information.
Yeah, like think about sarcasm.
Right.
Yeah. You can say something that sounds really nice, but if you use a sarcastic tone,
Yeah.
it means the complete opposite.
And that's all intonation.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean for the listeners?
Well, I think the most important thing is to start paying attention to it,
Yeah.
both when you're listening and when you're speaking.
Yeah.
Because when you do that,
Yeah.
you start to realize just how much information it conveys, and it can really help you understand people better and also make yourself understood more clearly.
Yeah, and I think a good exercise for people to try is like, think back to the last conversation you had in English.
Okay.
And think about, like, did the other person's intonation help you understand what they were saying? Like, were there times when maybe the melody of their voice told you more than just the words they were saying?
Exactly. And it's a really fun thing to start noticing.
It is.
Because once you become aware of it, it's like a whole new world opens up.
Totally.
You start to hear things you never noticed before.
I know.
And it can really change the way you listen to and speak English.
Yeah, and I think that's a good place to leave it for today.
Sounds good.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
But it's really fascinating stuff.
It really is.
And hopefully this has given everyone a good starting point.
Yeah, I think so.
To
go out and explore.
Yeah, to go out and explore and really start to understand how this crucial part of English works.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much for listening, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.